Hello, welcome to Pieces Pat Paints. I'm Pat. This is Octavia. She's a very interesting cat. I think we're done now. She's when she gets in a mood to be pet, she's all in. Yes, hello, cat. Hello, cat. Yeah. So anyway, welcome back to the show. For those of you who are returning, for those of you who have never seen us, welcome to for the first time. We paint things here. We paint miniatures and models and small creations. Sometimes we sculpt things. It just kind of depends on what I don't know, whatever I feel like doing, I guess. So anyway, right now we are working on Deathwatch Space Marines for a game called Warhammer 40K. If you've never heard of that game, it's very interesting, kind of futuristic. Armies. Think of army men with rules. Hello, cat. Yeah, see, I got to get over there. Yeah, I know. I don't care. Yeah. No, but see, like, I got to work, though, see? And you are all up in my way. I know, critter. So anyway, this is kind of how things have been going this morning. It's been pretty much like this most of the morning, which isn't the most entertaining thing in the world, but it could be worse. But yeah, we are going to let's go ahead. I'm sorry, I have to do this thing, and you are monopolizing my time. It's really like having another child, honestly. There we go. At least we got that far. Okay, so now, I know. Are you gonna get down? Yeah? Okay, great. See ya. Thank you for stopping by. Really enjoy your time. But, my gosh. You gotta love cats. They're fun. Cats are good. And good for you. Alright, so we're working on this here Space Marine. And I forgot to check and see, but I'm pretty sure you guys decided that we wanted to oof, gosh, kit bash this thing. Yep, 100% kit bash, 4 votes. We're making a flamethrower. So let's see. So what we want to do is we want to leave some of this housing in his hand. See, he's holding on to it right there. So we need to remove this barrel and this part of the housing. Well, that's going to get complicated. Maybe let's do that, and then if we have time, we'll get back to finishing this guy up. We just need to put his tassel and knife on. And I think we're going to go ahead and remove this. We'll remove this helmet and put his knife in there. So, and then we've got this little guy. He's done. He's ready to go. I put his backpack on last night. So, which is that's boring. There's no need to wait for you guys to see that. So, anyway, and his head is still a little bit weird, and his plasma pistol never quite seems to sit exactly right. But it's not anything that anybody but me will notice, because I am obsessive about weird things. You have to be willing to admit that, I think. Okay, so first things first, I did this last night. This was part of the landing gear to the Millennium Falcon that's up there on the wall. But parts of that. Hey, it's Sir McBeardsly. Happy October. But anyway, like I was saying, I don't have all the parts to the landing gear for that because I bought it secondhand. Hey, it's JJ. And the cat's back. Hello, cat again. Anyway, so I cut off this little piece here, so we can turn this into the fuel tank. I'm gonna set it in here, and then we'll add, hoses, and I think I have an Inquisitor seal we can add to it. Kitters. Hi. You're right there in my way. I know, but I don't want to like cut you or anything. See what my knives are over there. Okay, thank you. There we go. So, okay, first things first, we're going to kind of trim this up a little bit. Make sure it's nice and flush and clean. You're killing me. And same thing down here. I think I'm going to take it all the way off right here, so that we just get the cylinder on the square bit. Yes, this is Octavia. She is she is having that wondrous time of the where we're wanting boy kitties. Butt is most likely in a window somewhere. Hello, Kidder. You're I know, but you're in like a bad place. Okay, so I don't know that we necessarily need the scope for this, but you could take this off with the scope on, and it won't be too big of a deal. We're going to pull all the way back to where there's this little cylinder piece here. I'm going to pull all the way back to that. Kind of just making some lines to mark. Yes, she's, well, we think she's Siamese. The story of Octavia, I've said this one before, but we'll say it again because it's a great story. So, a friend of mine, she found two Siamese kittens, like, by her house. Like, somebody just, like, abandoned these two kittens. And she posted, I think it was on Facebook. It's back when I was still on Facebook regularly. And she was like, "Oh my God, I can't take care of two kittens. Does anybody else want a Siamese kitten? Because they think they're Siamese." And I was like, "Yeah, that's my cat for sure. If you'll bring her out to me, I'll, because she lives way on the other side of the county. I said, if you'll bring her to me, then I'll, you can have anything you want off the menu. You can have whatever, not cook you anything you want." Because when you're a chef and you're in a restaurant, that's just how you do business. And so said friend wanted 2 shrimp pastas, and so Octavia's name is Her Royal Majesty Octavia 2 Shrimps, Empress Octavia 2 Shrimps, ruler of the known universe. Yes, you. Yes. You're my kidder. She's very spoiled. But we had to bottle feed her because she was so little when we got her that we had to, we were bottle feeding her. Which is pretty crazy. But yeah, she's awesome. She kind of can be a little bit of a pain, but I think that's, all animals are, they've got their moments. Oh my gosh, I can't see. Cat. Okay. Hi. Hello, Kidder. Oh yeah. The old Lady in the Tramp song. Isn't that Lady in the Tramp? Yeah. What? She didn't like that. And again, be careful. Take your time. Don't get in a rush here. That's when you make a mistake. You also, if you do it right, you can salvage like this little piece, and maybe you want it. Maybe you want it for something else. You know, you never know. Just be patient with it. This guy's gonna be the only guy in the universe with a scope on his flamethrower. What do you need a scope on a flamethrower for? Well, it looks cool. I have points for style. Probably just need to take that thing off, huh? It would look goofy with a scope on a flamethrower. Flamethrower is definitely, you know, just point and shoot. It is not a Oh, took it all the way down. That's alright. We'll take this piece off and set that other part back on. No big deal. Gives us a little bit of chance to clean some of this up too. Sometimes that sort of thing is going to happen to you. So the big thing is don't get upset. Don't feel like it's a disaster and it's all over. You're kitbashing. I mean, you're putting we're kind of putting it all together anyway. It'll be all right. Especially with this part right here, because it's going to actually attach to his hand attaches to his other arm. So this will definitely restabilize for us pretty easily. Just make sure you got it lined up pretty nice. Should be good to go. I am going to take off this tiny little, that's the slide for the ejector, I think. A little bit right here, just to make sure it's clean. Alright, now see, that's going to come down a little bit anyway. So it's almost a good thing we did cut it. Yep. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and take that back off there. We're going to pull this section out because we need to attach this in there. Trying to come to that trigger guard as clean as possible. Got it now. First off, I'm getting ahead of myself. Gonna even that up a little bit. Yeah, she definitely does have the sass of a lady 99 Octavia, and we are definitely old, JJ. We're getting up there. McBeardsly is, he's not quite as old as he leads on. He's just kind of got an older soul. So don't let him fool you. Although, hey, we're no spring, none of us are spring chickens, I think. Well cultured, that's a good way to say it. Yeah, that actually worked out for us. Where'd that piece go? I wanted this. Cutting through it. Rarely does it work out for you. Almost always it feels like, oh my god. So it's nice when it does play into your hand. Make sure you get any filing you want to do done before you put this thing back on there. It's going to be kind of a delicate. Okay. Like it that way, or like it that way? That's a decision to make. Do we want to go that way? Or do we want to go that way? It'd be hard to show that from the other side. Kind of get the idea. Like that? Like that? I feel like it looks better like this. Yeah, I feel like it looks more intimidating with this going that direction. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's Maybelline. Okay, throwing some stuff up on the Discord. Definitely keep that thing going. I keep forgetting the Discord, so it's like I like it when people use it because it reminds me you exist. Speaking of being old, that is definitely where part of my age shows right there. Some Scattertrain, sweet man. Yeah, take a look at it when I get done. That actually looks pretty slick, right? Pretty slick looking gun. Turned out all right. Pretty excited about that. Yeah. I do have a little hose. I was wondering if we shouldn't put like a hose on it or something. I couldn't quite figure out exactly how I would want to put it, because we don't want to obscure the. That might work. That might work right there. Man, it might be a little too much. Yeah, I think it's a little much, isn't it? A little much up there too. Yep, we're gonna leave that like that. Okay. We'll save that piece for another day. There'll always be more things to kitbash. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is start working on pauldrons. We'll let this one harden up, and then we'll pull this pauldron off. We've got to pull this one off because we need to put his. Where is his Deathwatch pauldron? Where's this one? It's still on the sprue. Derp. Okay. Boom, 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 ba-doom, ba-doom, boom. Alright. So, what I'm just going to do is we're just going to follow this inner line here and remove this stuff. It's a little bit complicated. I try to keep it to where I can see this part as best as I can. It doesn't always work out so well. Sometimes you're going to take off a little bit more than you need to. Try to just take your time. Snip your way around it. Come on, grab it, grab it. There we go. Hold on. Almost has it. There it goes. So satisfying. So satisfying. I don't know why. Alright, situated where it's going to sit on there nice and pretty. Make sure you're happy with the amount of this stuff you've gotten rid of. You don't want to take it too far. That might actually be a little too much, but that's okay. We'll be able to fill a lot of that in with that sprue goo. The brain went boo there for a second. All right. Grab those mold lines while I'm here. Okay. So, thing was running away from me again. We're probably going to end up even putting more glue on this one because we're going to have to set a pin here to make up for the fact that we were missing that other piece entirely. Did it right. Should just sit right in there real nice. Get yourself all resituated. See what we're going to be dealing with down here, what we're actually going to be missing. Doesn't look like a lot. It doesn't look like you're going to see a lot. So we don't really have to sculpt any of this, which is awesome. That's going to make our life a lot easier. Because remember, if you were here yesterday, we replaced his belly and stuff and kind of got this reset a little bit. So what we need to do now is same thing we done on the other side. Add some of that sprue goo. Kind of make a gap, kind of fill that gap a little bit with that. And then we have some stuff we can use as gap filler. Find one that's going to be the right size. It's a little tedious, but backfilling all this stuff in is a great idea because remember, we got to have something for the pins on the arms to sit on, or they'll easily break. And I guess you don't have to have pins, but even then, you still want to create a surface for everything to be able to sit on properly. I think we're just going to fill that in with seriously wonderful stuff. Just want your filaments, get rid of them as fast as possible. You don't really want them sticking and drying if you can avoid it. So we're gonna let that side set up, and then we'll go over and mess with the other side. Again, remember, don't do this in like a super enclosed space with no ventilation at all. All right, so next thing I do is start working on this pack. I wonder what side, because there's always official stuff it's got to do. So, let's see, Tech Marine. Deathwatch, Tech Marine. Man, I got this thing splitting off everywhere. I guess we get to just pick where we want it to come off on its head. Or off his pack. So one of these sides we'll drill a hole. We'll mount it. Do we want it on his left shoulder? And we put this camera on the right. Yeah, right? That seems appropriate. It seems correct. Not that I would actually know. All I do is look things up. It didn't seem like there was a specific side. But since this camera's already on that side, I feel like we'll put it on the. We'll just transfer it from the small size pack to the Primaris scale or true scale or whatever they want to call it. I think everywhere has their own name for it, the heroic scale. All these mold lines off first. That's going to go on this side. I'll be. This chuck handle that size? Maybe not. Might have to put that in my other one. I prefer this one. I like the handle. I like that back handle on it, but it won't fit all of them. Oh, okay. Come here. I also have this set. I have like 3 or 4 different types of these things, just depending on what kind you like. This one's not bad. It's pretty useful. It's metal. It's very durable. This one I've had these forever. I think my granddad had them before I did. So like they're a solid tool. I just like those ones with a back handle because I'm getting old in my hands. I don't want to take it like it used to. So we just gotta get deep enough for it to set in there. Where'd it go? Boom. All right. Heck yeah. That's gonna look legit. See, this thing is like over on the shoulder, kind of a little further over. Let's see. No, I don't want to do that. So the thing about snips is you got to remember that snips are going to push it in. So that's why you sometimes you want to use it. You can use snips, you know, sometimes you want to use a knife. But this one we want to pull this thing where it's sticking up off of off it as well, instead of just this part of the pole. Kind of hard to see it, but there's a little small part, and then there's the actual like housing that it's going to sit on. So we're going to make our cut right under here. Follow the angle of the. I heard it. There's head up. Helmet too. Where'd it go? That is the danger of little tiny things flying everywhere. Ah. Oh, I found it. Ah. If you've never had that happen to you, I doubt you've kitbashed. Okay. Because this part can go on. Kind of like the idea of it sticking off sideways off of this part. It's kind of fun. Since it's a kit bash, we get to do whatever we want. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull that. I was wondering if this was gonna look good, melt in there for us, but it does not look like it's going to. So I'm gonna pull that little tiny piece of flash off there. See, well, it stuck to the thing, so maybe we can melt it. Use it to help us get it to stick together. Squished it right out. Where's my tweeter? We'll want to wait till we get everything kind of set on him before we pick the direction on this little guy. Okay, cool. All right. All right, good on that side. We'll start working on this side again. And we should be off to the races here in a second. Gotta do that arm. We might be able to get away with just gluing that on there. And I think we will. I think we might. Okay. I'm gonna do this pauldron. And we're able to move on to the next thing. It looks like all of our gun has hardened up real nice. Kitbashed flamer. Really trying to make sure we leave lots of surface area on this one, since we're going to try to do it without pens. But I think since it's all bridged together and nothing's hanging out, it should be good. So with these guys, these weapons are hanging out, like his arm is hanging out. It's only got the one connection point. With this, it's going to be connected here and here across the thing, so they're all kind of connected together. Might even be able to put a little bit of glue in here to get to stick to the belly, just to make sure. So our connection points are a little bit heavier, or not heavier, but a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? It's spread out better. Maybe we could get that. I like to get it without taking that little hose piece off. That'll look great. Always lots of filing in all of this. Lots of filing. Filing, sanding, inhaling a little glue, filing and sanding. You gotta be careful with inhaling all that glue. It's bad for me. While I try to secure my lids as soon as possible. That is a good habit to be in. Get your lids secured. Like I said, make sure you have ventilation in the room. Don't work in rooms that don't have ventilation and fans and things. Almost. I figured this guy was going to take a while. That's about an hour's worth of kit bashing right there, for real, for real. There we go. Sometimes it takes a little while for me to like establish a rhythm in a certain place, especially trying to do it on camera. Like, it's different when you're able to do it like this. Like, where you're trying to get it to where everyone can kind of see what you're doing. It's a little bit more difficult. It's a good challenge. I used to do something similar when I had to teach people how to carve fruit, melons and stuff. I got so good where I could basically, I was doing the whole thing upside down so that people could see it. Real close. I think right here is where our problem is. Yep, that was it. Alright, let's get it. Cut it. Okay, so let me think about this for just a second. Take a drink of coffee. Okay. So we've got this arm. I think I'm going to put these arms on first, and then I'll attach that other pauldron. Make sure I've got everything I want done here. Check for any mold lines. Regular glue. We're gonna do sprue glue. Add a bit of plastic just to make sure it's gonna stick for us. This other side we should be able to get away with just gluing it down. Glue here, glue there, glue right there. Glue right there, line that it's Reminded that it's still melting. Get it all on there for us. Oh yeah. Now he has a flame unit too. Could probably even count that maybe as a melta. Instead of just a plain old flamethrower. Should paint a name on him and call him Trogdor. Trogdor. Burninating the countryside. Burninating the peasants. Burninating all the peoples. And then the Trogdor comes in the night. And then he's got the cool old helmet. Heck yeah. Oh, there's way too much. There's way too much nothing in that hole in there. There's a nothing. You've gone mad with Sprue. My lust for power has been my undoing. Oh, he looks slick. Oh, it looks good. Alright, let's get this backpack on him and then we'll figure out which way we want to put his little crane. And then we have a tech marine gem, ladies and gentlemen. Ghouls of all ages. Since it is, you know, the spooky month, we can definitely add the ghouls of all ages. I think I like it out a little bit like that, or it's not really, it's kind of out away from the model. And the Tech Marine. Alright, that's the one on the base. We'll set him off for just a second. Let him get good and stuck on there. We need to save this backpack, save that clip, save that scope and that housing. Alright, let's see about this guy. Alright, so we're gonna probably take this helmet off so we can add this combat knife. Because he obviously does not wear a helmet. So again, what we really want to try to do is, if we can, be as surgical as possible here. You could crack at it with a pair of clippers if you wanted to. And some of them are at an angle where you really can just pop them right off. This one, we want to be a little bit more careful. We don't have a lot of extra to add to it if it goes awry. So we'd have to kind of think of another thing to add in here. So we want to be kind of careful. See if we can't coax it out first. What we want to avoid doing is cutting directly into like his leg, which may not be. You know what? We may just leave that guy alone. We already did a little scarring damage. If you do cut into it a little bit, put a little bit of your glue on there, and smash that guy back down in, and it will reset and should be just fine. You might have to do a little bit of filing. Alright, we're going to leave his helmet alone. Let's see. Well, he needs his backpack, wherever his went. We do have this wolf tassel. I think we can add that pretty easily. So this is easy. We're just going to cut like a square out of the edge of it. There's like a little chain piece. So we wanted to make it look like this is the chain is attached to the backpack. So you cut out the top and out one side, and you create just like a little quarter section that's missing. Put a little dollop of glue on the back on the pack, like so. And just attach it. Might need a little bit more glue. It's gotta have enough to get that activation started. Because like I said, I've said several times actually, but I'll say it again. What you're doing is you're melting plastic together. Hence why you need to have, don't do this in a closet, because that would be bad. Just gotta be patient. Might need a couple rounds of this glue. One of the reasons why I like the thin stuff, because it isn't going to start obscuring my model too quickly. Oh, I think we finally got it. Just gotta be patient. Very close, very close here. Alright, I'm going to let that actually sit and dry. Maybe not. It may have to be held till it sets. Which sucks for me. That's alright. Shouldn't take too long. I keep saying that and it's taking a while. I think I'm at that point where I'm just talking to fill the dead air. Well, it's almost there. It's so close. There we go. I should be able to let that set up and it should be fine. Guess we could slide it in right there, huh? There we go. There's no such thing as overkitted. Not for a space marine. And definitely not for a space wolf. Alright, maybe there is a point where it's overkitted. But I don't, you know my philosophy. Yeehaw, screw the law. My poor dog is chomping around out there, ready to go outside. Torturing her. She's like, oh my god. This guy, stop yapping and let me out. I can't. We gotta get this done. We're almost there. Got the Tech Marine done. We got one Space Wolf done. Get this other one now. Alright, so we're in here. We're gonna twist this. Try to pull that thread up with it. Remember that doodad needs to be pointing down because it would be dangling, right? And you just touch it right in here. Kind of get it to melt to his thigh pad as well. And I see a mold line I missed. Dag nabbit. Yeah, that'll hold. That'll hold. That'll look great. Now he's got a knife thing. He's just kind of a little backwards, but yeah, it kind of makes a little sense. I missed a burr there. That's right, I'll get these guys cleaned up. Oop, there we go, a little lower. So there's our two Space Wolves. These are the exact, almost the exact same model. And you can see it. One of them had a helmet, one of them didn't. And this one has his blaster pulled. And this one has his holster with it in there. So they're, they're a little bit in. He's got a reliquary, and they're a little bit different, but a little bit the same. It's kind of fun. And then, well, like I said, we got the. We also did this Tech Marine. Looks great. And when you get all this, completely done up, it would you'll never even notice that we ever kitbashed anything on this weapon. It'll look just like it's supposed to. It looks pretty techy too. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, all right. Let's get this last bit glued onto our last Space Wolf. And then we are going to call it a day. I'm going to go get some other things done. Come back in and get a bunch of paint. Finish the painting done. Awesome. So that's some great motion. You see, it almost looks like this thing is moving with it. Our tail is kind of moving as he's moving. It's kind of swaying around. Epic. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Really love that. I really love that Tech Marine. That's cool. That was cool. All right, so we'll definitely paint. We'll be painting those guys as we go, for sure. And then I'll definitely, let's see, what else we got? I've got this. I've got a couple of different pieces here. So we've got an Ancient with a banner, and then we've got the leader, the Captain in Terminator armor. So we've got those guys. Now we'll probably do it for the painting. We shouldn't have to paint too many of these. Just because you guys, it's Space Marines. They're all going to kind of look the same. I mean, I may not even. I mean, we're just going to kind of be doing like we have been doing. We're just going to get through it and pull myself so you guys see my face. So yeah. We'll just kind of, I'll keep painting, and then whatever I'm working on that day, I'll just throw up and on the live show, and we'll watch it. So it just kind of depends on wherever I am in the process. But I won't I'm not gonna bore you guys with a bunch of regular intercessors because they're all gonna look the same. I might do some pauldrons if you guys want to see some of that. Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Drop me a line, or any of the posts or anything. Hey, I want to see pauldrons. I want to see you do the chapter heraldry. So we're definitely going to be able to do a nice piece on this banner. We'll be able to put that inquisitorial symbol on there, which would be really cool. Put the Deathwatch thing on there as well. So that'll look great. Well, we'll try. Freehanding is interesting. I'm pretty okay at it though. I get better all the time, honestly. And that's one of the things with that stuff, guys. To be honest, the more you practice doing the same things over and over again, like if you make yourself paint 100 Raven Guard heraldry pieces, you are going to get good at painting Raven Guard heraldry pieces. You want to do 1,000 White Scars, you're going to get good at it. It's just the nature of practice. So don't forget to practice. Make sure you're doing that. It's good and good for you. I think that's all I got. Hope you guys have a great day. I do. I really do. I mean that. I feel like any day between the earth and the sky is a good one right now. So as long as you woke up and got to see the sun, you did okay, right? So take that and remember that. Be good to each other. Be good to somebody you don't know. Be good to yourself. And we'll talk to you later.